Welcome to STL City Showdown. I'm AJ, and this guy who is covering his face out of shame is Steve. It's like he's got a pillow sack over his head. But his face is just kidding.
Makes it better. Bad, it improves the pod.
Oh, I agree. Cover your face, and it's a lot better. Anyways. So we're going to do something a little different here. So every single podcast, including us, absolutely wants to talk about all the bad things from this game. So we're going to challenge ourselves. We're going to make this tough on ourselves. We are going to play the game glass half full as opposed to half empty. Steve, what I want you to do is I want you to give this game, particularly our team, at least 2 compliments. What did we do well? Yeah. Well, if I said 3, it's going to be almost impossible.
We are, okay. One thing that I could say positive about this game was that Toy Shirt did okay. First half of the game, it looked like he was really working his tail off. People were screaming for him to be able to start and saying Ben to sit. And he looked good for the first half. We didn't see him in the second half, but the first half, he looked okay. And the second compliment, man, I think we did a good job passing. I think our passing overall, even though we didn't pass very much in the forward, I think overall we didn't look horrible passing throughout the majority of the game.
Okay.
That's my 2. What about you? Yeah, this is hard. Put me on the spot like this. I can't even see. You got me blinded over here, making me start being positive. I'm the positive guy of the pod, even. People say about me.
That's definitely what people say about you. Okay, so here is my positive. I'm going to say I definitely agree with you with Toicher. He, in my opinion, would probably be the man of the match. Him and Hartle, I would probably say.
Oh, you mean on our side? The City man of the match. Oh, because City didn't do that in the app, did they? Yeah.
No, I swear, unless they, I
don't think they normally do it when there's losses.
Maybe not. You think we would know after last season, but
yeah.
So the one thing I will say is that I was actually pretty proud of is that defensively, they were actually pretty stout. Like Seattle didn't have a lot of great chances except for the horrible cough up by Vallum right in our own box. Yeah. But otherwise, we were actually really stout. Like I felt like we could have held them to a shutout, and we were doing great up until that point. Am I right?
No, you're right. Yeah, even though Seattle is a very much injured team, they're still a major league team. And we held them to one goal, and that's good. We were okay defensively. It's just the other side. Again, I think we've discussed this, that you still do need to score to win.
Come on, Steve. Glass half full.
That's what I'm saying.
Not half empty.
That's right. But
I know, right?
You know what? We didn't lose 17-0. That's a positive.
Now, the other thing is when you kind of look at the field tilt, we had possession. The total possession of the entire game was 40% in our attacking third. Yes, you heard me correctly. 40% of the time, the ball was in our attacking third compared to 22% in our defensive third. So that tells us that we were keeping it out of our backfield and we were keeping up there. Now, part of it, some people are going to say, of course, that's a little skewed because Seattle was starting to park the bus a little bit, especially near the last 10 minutes or so. Of course, that's going to skew it. But still, there was no doubt we actually had a lot of time in that last third. So I think between Toicher and that, the other thing is, let's see, if I could say some good things about a player, there were some good things that I saw with Durkin. I mean, he had a really boneheaded yellow card, but I loved his feistiness. Oh, the other thing is specifically with the defense, the one-on-one defensive. Like there was a lot of times we were able to strip the ball and to create turnovers, and we were really harassing Seattle. I would say that was something that we actually did pretty well. What do you think?
You know what? I will also say when the game started, the Apple announcers were saying that Seattle prefers to have their possession upwards of 60%. And like we flipped that on them. Like we had the possession of most of the game. Like you're saying we had the majority of our possession, in our attacking third. So we had a pretty good game plan. It's just we have no one to put ball into net. We had the ball in the attacking third. We had possession. We have possession, more possession for the whole rest of the match. It's just that we have no one to do anything with it. And that's what's really not great. But you know what? We did have possession most of the game. And right. That's a positive. Smiles,
Yeah.
positive.
So I think that's enough good things for this. So let's reveal ourselves and just go for the shame. Let's do our favorite goal or no goal. Because honestly, most of the goal or no goal is going to be a little negative. But here, I got one for you. I'm going to start because you're going to love this one. So Radar on Reddit said, at least we get a week off from those piss-colored kits. Goal or no goal?
Oh, God. You know what? When I saw that City was rocking the collars tonight, like seeing the red on the field, on the pitch, was great. I actually love seeing our primary color out there. God, hearing a phrase that I use as well, not out of my mouth, makes it sound kind of mean. Like it's mean. But I am glad to have City Red back on the field. What about you?
So one thing, I don't know if everybody knows this, but in soccer, especially MLS, there's the primary kit, of course, but how the rules state is you have to have a dark color kit and a light color kit. So some people wonder why we don't have like a red kit and a blue kit because they're both considered dark colors. So that's why you have to have like gold, yellow, like a light blue, white, whatever. Anyways, I'm going to say no goal because I actually kind of like the gold on the TV. I get it up close. Maybe it doesn't look so good and it has weird that it has a printed on like waves or whatever. But actually on the TV, I actually kind of like it. So I'm sorry. I have to say no goal, Steve. I have to disagree on this one.
Hey, man, we don't kink shame on this pod. You know, you do you, dude. All right. So this is kind of funny because this one was right before the match started. So you have to kind of perspective a little bit. So I found this before the match started, and I'm saving this because this is one of those age like milk comments. So goal or no goal with this. Do you even Sam says they'll never make me hate Betcher. Plays like a dog. Not his fault he's been forced to be the starter.
You'll never make me hate Betcher? Are you serious?
That's what this critter
When was
said.
this written? Was this
right
written at the end of 2024?
Nope. About 3 hours ago. Yep.
Okay, like I get it. Betcher, he came, he played on the SLU team, and then he came to us. I get it. Like you want to like Betcher. I love the fact that Betcher is like feisty. He plays head games a lot. But come on, like even if you haven't watched a single game this season, where were you in 2025? There has been no spark with Betcher. I'm sorry. Like I love his hustle. I want to like him. I get it. I want to like him. I'm sorry. Basically, Steve, I'm just going to sum this up. I'm trying to say no goal here.
Yeah.
This is like so stupid. It's like, you know how like when somebody says something so stupid, you just like stop and stare at them like a deer in headlights. That's literally what I'm doing here. Well,
yeah.
Except talking a lot.
It's like that comment on the movie where it says that thing you just said made everyone in here dumber. No one's. I mean, it's almost like it's like they're putting a target on their own back. No one's making you hate him, but the dude's not a great player. And we signed him through 28, 29. And so he's kind of like they've committed to Simon Betcher.
And I'm okay with that for like a backup striker. Like I think he fills the role and he's fine for that, but not as the primary. I got a Reddit guy here. So CRX guy on Reddit said, Torture MVP so far. This was like at the halftime. Goal or no goal?
Torture MVP of like the match or?
Well, for City. Basically, is he the man of match for this game for City?
I would say goal because he actually, even though his kicks were like when your 3-year-old kicks a ball to you when you're playing and it's like, oh, I want to get it. And like like he still got it, but like he at least did some. He had some energy out there. You could see him working. I will say goal with that because he was working his tail off. And I commented to you like before the end of the half, he looked gassed, but he was out there trucking and he did everything he could. And so like I would say for sure, I would say goal for that one for City, sure.
I'm gonna say like goal, like that, like
Like
like we'll say goal because here's the thing, like I love that he put the effort in. I get that, but like if that's your best player for the match, that's why Steve, I don't know if you realize this, but we are literally at one point we are tied from the team with Kansas for last place in the West.
seems
Like
like
how bad
Groundhog's
is that?
Day, doesn't it? Seems like Groundhog's Day. We were doing 2025 all over again, but our coach doesn't have a magnificent head of hair this time. If if we're going to play this bad, the people in charge should at least look better. At least I would say that. You know what? Positive is the crew that was at the top of the team last year that was horrible. Great heads of hair. This year, no, no. We do not have models leading us into off the cliff this year. At least if we had freaking Zoolander and the crew leading us down the runway, it would be something to look at. But no, we've got a nerd and just some failed jock as our coach. So like, no, sorry. I figure Ray should be so much better because he looks like he never goes outside. Like you think the team would be so much better. It's like having
Yeah.
Ray Ramacho be our accountant. All right. Jesus. Oh, how about this? Nat El Tapito on Tapitudo on Discord says this is a question. So you can say goal. How many games without a win is it acceptable to boo at the final whistle without being called a bad fan? So how about a number? How many games without a win is it cool for the fans to start booing at the final whistle?
So without a win, so it's including draws and everything. I think it's just dependent, right, Steve? I think it's dependent. It depends on how the team is like putting the effort in. Now, just remember, this isn't just the players. Like it's also the front office as well. So
Yes.
I get it. Like I get it. The front office is probably waiting for the summer window for a transfer, but it's obvious that they're not putting tons of money forth. It's obvious that we're stuck with what we have. Now, when I see the team, I just feel like I know they're trying out there, but I just feel like they don't almost believe it themselves to some extent. And we keep trying to get these coaches that are off the wall coaches. And maybe this guy is going to be a good coach, but he's a first time head coach. Like we're just experimenting. I don't like this. So I would say like, if you see stuff like this, then I would say like, even after a couple of games, especially if you're last in the freaking Western Conference. Now, if we were in the top, like let's say we were number 4 in the conference and we had like 3 losses in a row, you just kind of shrug your shoulders and you say, hey, we've been playing great. It's bound to happen. But after last year, I actually thought we were going to hear boos this game.
When the whistle blew, I could hear some from the broadcast. So you can hear, ooh. And, I think fans, I think fans should be okay with booing because we're not booing the players a lot of times. We're going to be booing the front office. And I said it last year. At what point will we start to see the supporter section show up with bags on their heads? Paper bags. Like, at what point are we going to start seeing fans really act out? I think I talked to you tonight about it. Tickets on SeatGeek, I like to gauge the interest in the team based on like SeatGeek ticket prices. First season, $200. Whatever. Then you start like you can tell when there's not a lot of excitement based on ticket price, which is good. That's why it's how the dynamic pricing works. Tickets for this game about 3 hours before were $35. About 2 hours, we're down to $30. 25 minutes or so before kickoff, $15. You can get a seat, not just supporter section. You get a seat for $17. Yes, it was a cold night. Yes, the team's not good, but this team should be still packing in. And you could see on the broadcast, they try not to show the upper concourse because you really don't need to see it because you're showing the pitch, not the upper concourse. But when they actually kind of scan down, you can see it. Tons of empty seats up there. So the
Wow.
fans didn't come out. I don't think they're going to report this as a sellout because I don't think there's no way it was. And I think we're going to start seeing that. And I've said it, it's obvious. Sports billionaire owners don't care until their balance starts to reflect it. Once that happens, then we'll see something happen. But like this team announced their promotional schedule before the season started. And after like the third home game, the promotion is to be decided. It's like not even announced yet. So like this team doesn't even care for the fans to put their promotional schedule completely set before the season starts. Like that's trash. That's trash. They have these games announced, like teacher night, all this crap, but they don't have the actual giveaways announced. Like that's how little this team really does care about the fans right now. Think about that. The Fire, they announced their promotional schedule like 3 weeks before City did, and it's all laid out very clear exactly what's going to be given away. Not City.
So a little change of pace here. I know. So TJ English on Blue Sky said not putting Celio in the game was extreme malpractice.
You know, that's a freaking goal because you know what was else extreme malpractice? 3 subs. We had 3 subs tonight. That was extreme malpractice. So yes, people on I think I saw it on Discord and on Reddit were like screaming all week, start Celio. Where's Celio? And like we didn't put Perez out. Perez almost was responsible for a goal last week if Betcher didn't boof it. We never saw him. We never saw any of them. We didn't see anyone out there tonight. Seattle had a sub early in the game because one of their star players got hurt. That guy scored a goal. That sub scored a goal. But we don't have any subs coming in. That's a goal, dude. What about you?
Absolutely. When you're struggling like this and we're struggling to make things happen, like it's obvious we were able to get to the final third, but nothing came out of it. So I agree with you here. It's put your little face mask down, be ashamed. It's just like, because my thing is no offense. Like I know you love Durkin, but when it comes to the end of the game, you're in the last 15 minutes of the game. I just feel like at some point you just say, okay, like honestly, Steve, what's the harm if you give up a second goal? You're going to lose anyways. You might as well go all out. And you know what City didn't do? They didn't go all out. How did the game end? Like literally, we were passing around. We were passing around to the defenders when we had like 3 minutes left in the game, and we're just passing around. There was nothing in the box. There was no creativity. We were trying to play keep away, just keep possession. The game you don't win the game based on possession. You win the game based on goals.
I'm glad we're learning this. Maybe we could pass that on to the team. So last week we played a game, start, sit, shoot into the Mississippi. And my start last week was Sang Ben. I think Sang Ben should be starting because of his speed. But I actually saw throughout the week, Sang Ben was getting just dragged. Oh, because of he's not doing much. Well, here is a goal or no goal. Sang Ben for Valum needed to happen 10 minutes sooner than it did. Valum's been gassed, and there's been several times Sang Ben's speed on the right side could have helped his last 10 minutes. So, goal or no goal, Sang Ben should have came in sooner.
Hey, I agree. I mean, it would be a little awkward seeing Sang Ben as the right wing back, but at that point, what you do is you transition that wing back more towards like a true winger. You know what I mean? Like they just had to do something. Like they had to have some kind of creativity, or you move somebody else to the right wing back and then bring Sang Ben in. I agree. You needed to bring, at some point, you just throw the kitchen sink at it. Yeah, I don't care about defensive players. Yeah. I know this is crazy, and I know this isn't going to happen, but even if you took out one of the center backs and put an offensive player in there, just do something at some point. Okay, I get that's not rational, and that's never going to happen, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, this team, all they did during the winter was bring in mid-tier defensive players. They didn't care about offensive players, but the defensive players they're bringing in ain't really helping. So, like, I got another one real quick.
Okay.
On Discord, Trademark says, I cannot overstate how much less crappy my Saturdays would be if we had the exact same record, but our losses were 3-4 instead of 0-1.
Mm.
So we've done this before.
I was about to say, we've talked about this before.
So goal or no goal, you would much rather have tonight have been 3 goals, a 3-4 loss as opposed to a 0-1 loss.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
goal!
Here's the thing.
Goal.
I mean, so when we first...
It's ironic we said goal because that's what we would have needed.
I know.
Fucking goal.
So there's no doubt, right? Like the MLS, when we first came into the league and we were learning about soccer in America and learning about MLS, one of the things that we found out pretty quick is that the MLS focuses very heavily on strikers and wingers, and that's where they usually put the DP money. And it makes sense because it makes for exciting game because people... At least it gives you something to cheer about, right? Now, imagine if this was a 4-3 game. At least we would have saw some goals. We would have had that like little bit of a dopamine hit. We would have had highlights. Because ultimately, let's say Valum didn't make that boneheaded play. Realistically, what was this game going to be? A 0-0 game. Unless somehow we got lucky or they got lucky, right? But most likely it was going to be a 0-0 game. That's not very fun.
But
right?
a draw is much more fun than a 0-1 loss.
Well, I would rather take a 4-4 game than a 0-0. Now, okay, fine. Let's play this game. Which would you rather have entertainment value? A 4-3 loss or a 0-0 tie?
4-3. I don't know. It depends because was it a 0-0 draw because both defenses played really strong and the goalkeepers were strong, or was it 0-0 because every time a team got into attack and third, they just gave up the ball?
Fair.
I wouldn't want both sides to be as horrible on the offensive side as we are. That would be bad for the game. Someone has to be good on the attacking side. You have to have some sort of excitement whenever you're playing these games.
So Alexander 221788 on Reddit said, sports are normally considered entertainment. This team is simply not entertaining so far this season. That's basically what we're trying to say here.
Yeah, that's the easiest goal.
So I got a new game for you. Woo! This is a new one for now. Here's we got to play together. Of course, that sounds really bad as adults, but anyways. This is called Three Wishes. So we were walking around and we end up seeing this like little lamp that's in the ground. We knock the dust off, we pick it up, and a genie comes out and says, "You, sir, can have 3 specific."
He says it like that?
Yeah, he is. He's got a little bit of a stutter.
That genie's doing the fentanyl lean. I just know it.
So he says you can have 3 specific wishes for this team. So you can't just say, I wish we win the cup. Well, I guess that is specific, but I'm talking about like tactics or player, and we have to decide 3 together. What is our 3 specific wishes here?
Oh, God. Would a certain number of goals at the end of the season count? Like,
No,
I wish this
a little bit more specific.
I wish this team averaged 3.5 goals a game.
Yeah, so I'm going to make you think a little bit more tactically. So I'm going to give you one wish based on this game here and the last game we saw. I wish our back 3, which are usually defensively solid, knew how to progress the ball because they have no clue whether we're in the backfield or in the attacking third. They have no clue what to do. So example is, how many times do we get trapped in our own third where we pass back to Berkey and Berkey had to like last minute kick it away just to do something with it. Like they couldn't even link up to the midfield. The other time was like, look at the end of the game. They're just playing like little keep away with the last 3 minutes and they're not actually doing anything. Ball, pass it to the wingers, like try to at least get some kind of cross going. They just are so clueless when it's on the ball play. So I would say defensively on the ball play, I wish was somehow fixed.
A specific somehow. All right. I wish that our strikers could put ball into net. Genie, make Betcher put ball into net 1 time per game.
Okay, I think I could go with that. Yeah, I mean,
okay, how about
it's
then?
True.
then you could say for every 5 minutes that this team has possession in the attacking third, so 5 minutes, we score 1 goal.
Well, that would be phenomenal. We'd
That'd be
be scoring
phenomenal.
like 4 goals a game.
There we go.
Yeah.
But then, so that's a utterly specific. We're targeting down to a specific time frame in which we are trying to score.
Okay.
So, but if
Yeah.
Because
So what's going to be our
possession
last
doesn't
wish?
just happen. Possession doesn't just happen
Yeah.
in the attacking third. So, like, once we get to that attacking third per game, once we've gotten up to at least 5 minutes, or an average, if we have a ball in that attacking third for 5 minutes per game, we're at least scoring a goal. Because sometimes they happen outside the attacking third. So, at least.
At least. Okay. Okay, so what's going to be our third wish? Like, this genie is like,
Dude,
okay, guys,
I don't even
come
know.
up with your third wish.
I don't know, man. Our head coach understood how to use a bench.
Oh, I got one better. Diego quits. He doesn't even get fired. He just quits.
Man, can a genie? Yeah, okay. Or we can just shoot him into the Mississippi.
Oh, you just want to shoot, like catapult him?
Put him in the
Trebuchet?
Put him in a trebuchet, and we'll see how far we can fling him.
Okay. Okay, so
Man,
Magic Genie.
that'd be good.
We want to catapult or trebuchet somebody.
Yes. Can we put a trebuchet inside City Park, and we just put Diego, like put like little treats in there? Maybe he'll just climb in there and do it himself.
Okay. Do you think they can make it? Do you think you could trebuchet somebody from City Park all the way to the river, though? Just with like terminal velocity in the air and resistance.
We live in a crazy time, my friend. You know what, though? Bouncing counts as making it. So if we can like make this dude bounce, I've seen video game physics. I think we can make this happen. You know what?
Okay.
Michael Jordan once said, "You miss all the shots you never take." Michael
Oh,
Scott
that's my
once said,
favorite
Wayne
miss.
Gretzky said that. So yeah.
Okay, so I got another game for you. So like probably our final game for this evening, okay? And we're going to lean into the controversies. Okay? Now, this is going to be a really tough one. Okay, we're just going to go for it here. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
Okay, Leuven. So he's obviously struggling a lot, and he's got his family issues kind of going on. Now, the one thing I did learn is that we do have 2 senior slots available on our roster, so it's not like he's taken up a roster slot. Now, here's kind of the controversy. We can keep it simple because obviously he's going through a very tough personal time, and we all are sympathetic to that. However, should we just not even consider him part of the team? And if he's there, he's there. Because a lot of people will keep mentioning, oh yeah, Leuven's off the team, or he's not playing again, or you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Should we as fans not even consider him as part of the team?
Yeah, it's kind of what we brought up last week, where one of the goal was, do we just buy him out? I mean, I really, at this point, again, unless we see him on the team, we should just consider him not on the team. I mean, if he's not even, I don't even know if he's practicing. If he's not practicing, if he didn't practice this week, he's not going to be ready next week. So we're not going to have him next week. So, like, for the first 4 weeks of the season, we're probably not going to have him. So, like, until we see him, he's not there.
Poor guy, for sure. Okay, so here's a more interesting one. And this is where the frustration is going to happen this year. Because a lot of people keep talking about, like, we don't spend. And I'm going to assume for this one, and because I truly believe this, that we do have a DP lined up for the summer window. They just have to wait probably so they don't have to pay a transfer fee and somebody's out of contract. Because remember, Toy Shirt, they started recruiting him like a year before we actually got him. So here's the question, though, and we kind of talked about this a little bit before. With the DP, are you waiting to the summer window to get the exact person you want? Or should we have gotten somebody who is 80% as good back in the winter window?
Or option 3, not get rid of the guy who was scoring goals for us.
Okay, but do you know why? So if you guys haven't heard, The reason why Klaus left the team was because at the end of last season, they said to the team, hey, we want to do like a week or two of postseason workout. Basically, they wanted to see what they had actually there. They wanted to basically assess all the players.
And the team already said it was required.
Yep. And apparently Klaus had like a vacation planned or something, and him and Diego got into it. And then ultimately that's what led to this Klaus wanted to leave thing.
It's ridiculous.
It was Diego.
And it's like any of your jobs, you put in your PTO months in advance and your boss says you got to come in on Monday and you already put that in. It's the same thing that Diego did. Klaus had already said he's not going to be around. He had to go home and see his mom or something. And Diego threw a big hissy fit about it. And Klaus said, F it, I'm out. I want to be traded. I want gone. So, yeah, I think I just looked up right now. So we're talking about DPs. How many goals do you think? So how many goals do you think Klaus himself has scored already this season in LA?
Well, I know he has the 3 goals, but I was just checking to see if he had yet another one.
Yep. And he did.
He does.
He's got 4 goals himself.
That 4 goals in 3 games.
4 goals himself, 3 days. That's DP ass play because he's getting DP money out there. So we had a DP. We had him, and our stupid business guy let him go. And now we don't have one. And now we're not scoring. I wonder why we're not scoring. So, yeah, I would rather have an 80% guy, or maybe the guy that's not the greatest ever in saying, oh my God.
So, Steve.
It's easy to say what we don't have. We had him. So,
Steve, we're a little under 10% of the way in the season. Now, you calculated this before we started today. At this rate, we're currently looking at about 10 goals, 10 to 12 goals for the season. Yeah. Klaus is on track. Not that this is going to happen, but he's on track for 40 goals.
40. That's ridiculous.
I'm serious.
I know. And it's clearly he can't keep that. I don't know. So he had 3 goals against LA early in the season last year, and he ended up with 10. He might get 15 or so goals in LA this year. And wouldn't that be something if he has half of our total goals this year? If we can't as a team muster more than 30 goals and he has 15 of those himself, wouldn't that be ironic? And we're having to wait until July for a person that might be able to. If we wait until then, there's no way we are getting anywhere higher than 13th in the West. There's no way. If we keep this up.
Steve, and here's the thing. A lot of us fans, including myself, I'm definitely waiting for this DP striker to come in. But I think it's going to come back to what we said earlier about like a 4-3 loss versus 0-0 draw. The problem is just like Olaf Ball, we're playing way too defensively, and we're so worried about giving up goals that we're not actually pushing forth.
Yep. They made a lot of changes. Like, there is a lot of turnover on this team. And I would think that with all the turnover on the team, all the new players, we would be better. Wouldn't you think that? New players, new manager, new sporting director, we should have seen better play on the ball already. And we're not. I mean, when do we say this is the team that we have? When do we, as adults, shed our childish ambitions of, oh, I'm sure it's going to be better next time? At what point do we just say, this is the dance we're bringing to the ball, or this is the date we're bringing to the dance? Like, at what point do we just say, this is the team? This is it, guys. How's it going to get better? Where do you see the improvement?
I mean, that's a problem. This is tough because the thing is St. Louis is definitely a soccer city. There's no doubt about it. But we've talked about this before, is that no fans want to just be humiliated, right? Like, I'm watching this game and I'm like, There's no thought in my mind of like, hey, let's have people over and watch the game because it's going to be an exciting game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like how people gather for like American football games. Like everybody gets together. It's a big deal. Like there's no culture here. Like especially for this. This is a new team basically, and
Yeah.
we don't have any culture because
We
even
had an
don't
identity.
forget, Steve, the first season we
No.
were hot the first few games. Yeah,
Yeah, we
but
had an
even the
identity.
second
We were
half
that
of that.
high press team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we don't have an idea. Like, what are we? Like, we're a high possession team that doesn't score.
Well, that's just it. We are a possession team that only cares about possession, but they don't.
Yeah.
What I want to see is I want to see true progressive play, not just saying like everybody says that we have progressive play, right? But I haven't seen that. I've seen it a little bit with our very first game of the season, but I haven't seen it since. Definitely San Diego, man. San Diego is a really good team. I'm kind of putting that out of my memory a little bit because, and I'm kind of curious what they did today, but I'm probably going to guess whoever they played probably struggled too.
San Diego, they played Kansas today, and they won 1-0. But they played
course
in
they did.
Kansas. They played in Kansas, and they won 1-0, which is why we're not at the bottom of the table. I guess we're tied for last, but
So literally, they have 3 straight shutouts. They haven't even given up a goal this season.
oh my God. Right. Yeah, they won 5-0, 2-0, 1-0.
Yeah, blank sheet, baby. Okay. Anyways, Steve, this is, I'll tell the people listening right now, as podcasters, this team is very, very hard to cover right now there's just not tons of good things going on. I will say though, if I'm being truly honest with you, Steve, that last year was just bad. It was just bad. The offense was bad. Defense was bad. I do feel like we're just like on the edge that we could break out. But the problem is that just hopium copium? Probably. But we definitely are like, we're just like, if we could get a little bit better progression, a little bit better ball handling, I feel like we're just right there.
Yeah, I would just say, where are the goals coming from? Who's scoring for us? Like we could be like we saw when we see any progression, when we see any kind of, oh my God, we're playing LAFC next week in Los Angeles. Do we score 1 goal against LAFC?
Well, considering you scored 1 goal in 3 games, I'm probably saying no.
I don't think we do. I don't think we get on. I think we have another loss. And I think it's going to be an ugly loss against LAFC. Get out of here. At least the week after that, or the week after that, we play New England at home. The Rev are awful. So maybe we get a chance to win.
Maybe.
Oh my God. Yeah. I would never have thought that oh my gosh. Yeah. We're not going to have a win until April, probably.
Well, Steve,
Damn.
what's your
positive?
Yeah. What's your closing thoughts, Steve?
Oh my God. My closing thoughts is I wish we had a striker. I don't know. Like,
I know
really
we have such original thoughts.
Well, this wasn't a fun game to watch. It really wasn't. There wasn't anything super exciting or super intense to make me go, I can't wait to tune in next week. At least next week, this'll be the reason why we can tune in. Jesus. I did see a person said every time the Apple announcers talk about our players in a good light, it just feels like a participation trophy. God, yeah. At least the team gets to be in Los Angeles next week. Maybe they can go say hi to Klaus if they're in town too.
I bet they do, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know, Steve. I'm done with this week. This was horrible. Not as bad as last week, but I wouldn't say it's good.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I mean, at least they were home for it. At least they don't have to travel very far after this nonsense.
True.
All right. Tomorrow I'm going to go play D&D, so that's a cool thing.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm going to go kill some orcs. I want to have my players kill orcs or something. So looking forward to that.
What your session, or what's the name of the campaign? Dragon Horde or
Horde
Queen
of the Dragon Queen.
That's it. That's it.
Yep. So I'm also a nerd in my leisure time as well. So I am looking forward to that. Going to take my daughter to my sister's house, let them hang out, and I'm going to go nerd out for about 3 hours and then come home for reality.
By the way, if anybody is listening at this point, which probably nobody is, the place that's really, really cool is called Dirty 20. It's over on Manchester Road, not too far from me. It's really kind of cool. And if you're vegan, they have really good vegan macaroni cheese. Like that's like one of their like big things.
Yep.
It's awesome
And
place.
if you have kids, it's an awesome place because they have board games. They have tons of board games. They have kids' days on like Sundays. You know, I've been going there since they opened. I DM'd the very first week they opened, and I've met some lasting friends there. Really cool place. They really care about the community. So if you ever are in that area and you want to go support a local business, go there. They're really cool people. Yeah. And go say hi to Peggy when you're there.
Very open and accepting.
Yes. Yeah.
Very open, accepting.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it, man. Let's close this nonsense out. So just look around and go, I guess it's time for all for City, baby. And then dry your tears.